What if a single declaration ignited a firestorm that redrew the map of the Middle East forever? Picture a land torn between ancient promises and modern fury, where outnumbered fighters turned desperation into defiance against invading armies. But how did this explosive birth unfold? And could a fledgling state survive the onslaught? It was May 14, 1948. In a Tel Aviv museum, David Ben-Gurion proclaimed Israel's independence. Just like that, the British mandate over Palestine was over, and the powder keg of partition was lit. The UN's 1947 plan had proposed a checkerboard solution, a Jewish state and an Arab state living side by side. But the plan was rejected, and the stage was set for war. But why this high-stakes gamble? For Zionists and Holocaust survivors, it was the culmination of a desperate search for a safe haven. For Arabs, it was an invasion of their ancestral land. The UN map itself was so convoluted, it looked like a puzzle designed by feuding neighbors. As the clock struck midnight, marking Israel's birth, the armies of 5 Arab nations, Egypt, Jordan, Syria, Iraq, and Lebanon, surged across the borders. Egyptian tanks rumbled north from the Sinai Desert. Jordan's formidable Arab legion advanced on Jerusalem, quickly seizing the ancient old city. It seemed like the end before it had even begun. But what if the Jewish Haganah forces, armed with a motley collection of smuggled weapons, could flip the script? The battles for the roads became legendary. Convoys fighting their way to Jerusalem were lifelines of blood and steel, where every truck was a fortress on wheels, every driver a soldier. The siege of Jerusalem was brutal. 100,000 Jews were cut off from the world, slowly starving under a relentless artillery barrage that pulverized entire neighborhoods. It was a grinding vice of attrition that tested souls to their breaking point. Yet, in the face of annihilation, Israeli ingenuity shone through. Secret airlifts, codenamed Operation Balak, flew in crucial weapons from Czechoslovakia. Makeshift mortars called Davidkas were built. They were wildly inaccurate, but their terrifying noise alone could make enemy soldiers flee in panic. Could this inventiveness, combined with the growing disunity among the Arab armies, possibly doom their superior numbers? What transpires when underdogs outmaneuver giants? Operation Action, a desperate military push, punched a corridor through the Arab blockade to relieve Jerusalem. In the north, Syrian forces charging into the Galilee were stopped dead in their tracks by defenders in kibbutzim, agricultural settlements that had been turned into fortresses, holding out like ancient citadels against a modern army. By July, a brief truce had fractured. The war entered a new, more aggressive phase. In a lightning offensive called Operation Dani, Israeli forces captured the key Arab towns of Lod and Ramleh. This victory came at a terrible cost, creating a massive wave of refugees, a human torrent that scarred generations and whose echoes are felt to this day. The coordination of the Arab armies? It was less a coordinated assault and more like a symphony where every musician was playing a different tune from a different songbook. The fighting raged on, a brutal seesaw of attacks and counterattacks, until a series of armistice agreements was signed in 1949. The war was over, but the conflict was not. Over 6,000 Israelis and an estimated 10,000 Arabs were dead. A new map had been drawn, not by diplomats, but by blood and fire. What timeless rifts echo from this founding fury? It was the birth of a nation defined by resilience, but also the planting of seeds for an enduring, intractable conflict. 1948, a year where a nation's dawn rose from war's brutal crucible. Thanks for watching. If you want to dive deeper into the pivotal moments that shape our world, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell.